Surprise! 2 in one day. Can you believe it? How exciting. I wanted to go ahead and do another episode of common pieces of marriage advice that are probably great in healthy relationships, but can be super damaging to someone who's in an abusive one or in a relationship with a narcissist. Today's piece of advice that we're looking at is the one that goes something to the effect of don't talk ill about your spouse to other people, because then the people you're talking to will only hear the negative things and they won't be there when you reconcile. So they won't be there for any of the positive things, which means they'll have a skewed view of your spouse. Now, in a healthy relationship, I can see what the goal is behind this advice. The idea is that you're creating a team and that this team becomes a unified front, that it's when there's a problem going on, it's us versus the problem rather than us versus each other. And so I feel like I understand the intent behind it. However, I have a couple problems with it. First, if someone comes to you and says, hey, this is the problem that's going on with my spouse, please, oh, please, just hear what that person is saying and don't go, oh, now I can make a whole bunch of judgments about their spouse and I can assume what their spouse is like, because you're only seeing that snapshot. So if someone's coming to you and talking through an issue that they're having, please focus on that person and their experience without applying anything to the whole collective. Because you won't know. You just don't know. Second, if you are in a situation where you feel like your marriage feels off, where you feel like something is going on and it doesn't feel right and marriage seems harder than you were expecting it to be, or suddenly you're feeling isolated, or you're just not sure how to navigate what's going on, please go talk to someone. Please. There's zero reason for you to feel like you're alone in what you're experiencing. I wouldn't suggest talking to everyone. I wouldn't suggest blasting your spouse on social media, but finding a safe person who can hear what you're going through, can hold your pain, and then can help provide you with some insight in what's going on is a good idea. That's someone I would recommend, be a therapist or a counselor. However, sometimes solid, safe friends can be beneficial in these areas as well. Everyone needs counseling. We should all have that. But if you feel like you could share with a solid, safe friend who's not going to apply judgment over to your spouse, who's just going to hold and hear your experience, please do that. Don't let yourself be alone. Don't feel like you're the only one going through this and you can't even talk about it. Here's what happens specifically in a relationship with a narcissist. One of the things narcissists like to do, and for today's discussion, let's say we have a husband who is the victim and we have a wife who is the narcissist. One of the things that she will actively be doing is trying to isolate him from those around him. Narcissists love if they are the center of someone's universe, and the easiest way to do that is to remove other people from that picture and begin to isolate their spouse from other support systems. So he is already experiencing some isolation. He's already experiencing some confusion as to, should he be choosing his spouse over these other situations? Or is it okay for him to continue having friends and family that he relies on? He's already trying to navigate those waters. And so then if he hears something like, don't speak ill about your spouse because then that person will only think negative things. Well, he doesn't want that to happen. He loves his wife. He sees the good in his wife. He sees all of these positive things about his wife. There's a reason he married her, and he doesn't want others to only think negatively about her. And so, of course, he's not going to do something that might lead to a negative view of his wife. He wants to protect her. So, as he begins to feel confused and alone, what he really needs is someone to just hear his experience, hear what's going on, remind him that he's not alone, remind him where he can find advice for healthy relationships, and just let him be seen and let him be heard. Because so often in these relationships, the way that the abuse happens with some gaslighting, with some attacking and defending, the victim often ends up feeling like they can't speak and they maybe even can't be seen. that their opinions and their values and their voices don't matter. So if you know someone in a relationship like this, please just let them know they are seen and they are heard. And if you are in a relationship like this, please know that others see you and hear you, and you are not alone. If you need some help, if you need some resources, please reach out. I've got a class for people on the outside who are trying to support their loved ones going through difficult relationships. And I do one-on-one work with them, as well as if you find yourself in a difficult relationship. Please reach out. Please get some help. You're not alone.